Hello, hello, welcome to our channel. Another Saturday, December, almost Christmas, and we started 10,000 Days, album released in 2006. We started with Vicarious. The song was about what is happening in the society, about people being driven to tragedy, about human history, you can say. A great song, but we actually got a bit of a criticism for not listening Vicarious and Jambi together, which we've planned to listen to today. So what we did just before the video, we just listened to Vicarious behind the scenes, so it's all fresh in our mind. And I'm gonna listen to Jambi for the first time now. Is there anything you would like to add before we start?
Maybe just the fact that it's a song preceding the Wings for Marie, two songs, 10,000 Days and Wings for Marie. So there's that. And I think you're already aware because of the comments what it's about. So yeah, there's just that.
Lovely. As always, thank you so much for being with us, for your comments. Thank you for our Patreons. And yeah, I'm ready. I've got lyrics opened and just do it.
Okay, so Jambi.
Yes. That's really strong.
Like a sultan I do on treasures and flesh never few, but I would wish it all away if I thought I'd lose you just one day.
So good. That's it, yeah?
Yeah.
Oh dear. Another great, great, great song. I think that I know why we have been criticized for not listening Vicarious and Jambi together. I was surprised with how strong the Vicarious is, right? This one was even stronger, so there was like an increase and build up of those emotions, wasn't there?
Stronger, but also it was long, but it didn't feel long, but it was changing throughout the song.
Yeah, the tempo was like stronger, and generally, I think what's within the song is stronger. Or maybe I'm incorrect, but there was also again so much going on inside. Like it was so juicy, you can say, so developed, isn't it?
Yeah, yeah. I think the whole 10,000 Days album is like that. Actually, it's so great.
I've seen in the comments pretty much that's one, if not the best album by Tool. So if that's the case, I think I know. Honestly, there's so much going on. I'm probably gonna have a little bit of a problem with the lyrics, but we can just discuss this together. But I just wanted to like really emphasize on the musical level, on the tempo. There've been also moments where I felt as if there was no lyrics, you'd say, but the sound sounded as if it was some kind of a voice mixed up rather than instrument, in such an interesting way as well. Did you hear this?
I can't say I heard what you're saying exactly. I really enjoyed the music itself. I really, really enjoyed pretty much every single instrument they used. And the whole composition of this this song, so great. It's like a small journey, going onto this small journey. And actually, I stopped like reading the lyrics. I just enjoyed the music itself and the lyrics as well, but not like actively trying to understand them.
Oh, I see.
Just
Yeah.
Yeah,
it was like so good because there was again so much going on. The same way it was the song was kind of progressing and developing in Vicarious, isn't it? It's the same type. It's like just so much going on and it changes and it's becoming different.
I think that was even more like what you're saying. Like this song, it was even more changing throughout the song. At least that's my impression.
Yeah, and I feel like it was just stronger in that sense as well.
Yeah.
So that would make sense to listen to these songs together, almost as if, one part of the journey and like the tension is building up, or not even the tension, but like the experience. And we just want to scream and jump at the end. That's how I feel. Let's start from the beginning then. Jambi, the title, does it have any meaning? I couldn't find any meaning. I'm pretty sure there are some pets that are named Jambi. I may be wrong here, but that's what I recall. So it's like a pet's name. I know it's gonna sound funny probably, but isn't it like made up word?
I don't know. I know that for me the word Jambi, my first thought is about Bambi.
Yeah, same.
I don't know why. That's just the first thing comes to my mind.
Yeah, and I actually thought about Bambi. That was a cartoon, wasn't it? From the time when we were quite young, I'd say. And in case you don't know, but I think it was quite popular. But Jambi, Bambi, it's so similar, and you have this feeling when you first looking at the title that it's gonna be like really soft, nice, and bubbly song. That's what what was kind of my very first thought, but that's completely incorrect, and that's completely different. I can't make out the sense as of yet, as of the title, and why it's in here in this way. If there are any like nice theories, that would be great if you would like to share them with me. In terms of the lyrics, they've been much easier for me to pick up, to be honest, than in Vicarious. Yeah,
for me, it's the other way around, actually.
I have a bad hearing anyway, probably worse than you. But for me, it was a bit easier. Yeah.
Oh, you mean like understanding the lyrics when listening?
During the song, it was easier for me to understand the lyrics. Yeah.
Yeah, I think I would say I'm the same actually on that subject. Yeah.
Yeah, maybe it was the construction as well, because I feel there's like quite a lot of lyrics, but then there's a lot of repeated words, and they are half sentences, sometimes even just one word. So perhaps that helped as well. But that's also part of this kind of change throughout the song, isn't it? That it should be like really different. Each part should be different, and that's what's beautiful in it.
Also, I think this one was built, the lyrics aren't built that regularly, like in Vicarious.
Yeah.
In Vicarious, you've got those sections that are strictly,
Yes.
you can distinguish the sections. Here, it's more free for all, I would say, like more, yeah, it's just more
Yeah.
complicated.
That's quite a good observation as well. We don't always see the patterns, but when we are putting up the video together after recording, and when we are trying to add up the lyrics to the video, that's when we see those patterns. And there
Yeah.
are certain songs that have first part, then we have the main theme, then another part, main theme. Usually there's like 4-3, 4-3, or 2-2-2. The structure of the lyrics, so it's like really structured in Vicarious compared to Jambi.
Yeah, it's possible that we will pick up some patterns when we will be doing
Yeah.
the video later, yeah.
Yeah. I will be honest, it is quite tricky for me to think what the song is about. I thought for a moment it may be about love. I know there's no reference to love in it, but there are certain words. If I thought I'd lose you one day, the devil and his had me down. But if I would wish it all away, if I thought I'd lose you just one day. So that's what kind of makes me feel it may be about love.
Yeah, at the beginning I thought it's about the mother of his, and he's losing her. So he's great, he's King's Mountain View, he's feasting like a sultan, and he's got all the treasures and so on and so forth, but he would be prepared to give it all away just so he doesn't lose that other person. But like you said, it can be about anyone. It can be about his dear love, or
or just simple love. But I didn't want to start with mother only because on our previous video my first thought was quite wrong. But yeah, he says then, but you've changed that all for me, lifted me up, turned me around. So that's definitely someone that he has a really strong bond with. So the reference to mother would fit in here as well. There are though some parts that makes me wonder, and that perhaps is expansion on something more as well.
for me, the further parts are really hard to understand, actually. They're more like actually blending together. They're like he's just almost like he's praying to something, or being just so expressive, but not that much content, I would say, but a lot of emotion is in there. But it's hard for me to understand the second part of the song, actually.
Yeah, apropos emotions, I felt like he felt every single word. At times his voice was so beautiful, and you could really like feel you could feel more, I think, because of the way he was singing, because you could actually feel his feelings throughout. That was also something I picked up on. But I agree, it was quite hard for me to understand. But I really like your reference to the prayer. It may be kind of like a prayer, but then there's quite a few references to the devil as well. And that's what made me wonder. There is at the end, silence, legion, save your poison. Silence, legion, stay out of my way. So I think there is something more in the fact that the song ends with legion, and legion in itself can be can have quite a strong reference, I think.
What type of reference you have in mind?
The first that crosses my mind is the biblical one.
Okay.
So obviously the legion. Let me just Google it quickly. Legion. So, legion is a demon or group of demons, particularly those in 2 or 3 versions of exorcism of a Genesis demoniacs.
So
in the account in the New Testament. So, we have a quote here. Mark 5:19 reads in the Bible. Jesus asked him, "What is your name?" And he replied, "My name is Legion, because there are many of us."
Okay, so it is something representing an evil, and a lot of it. Would it be correct?
Yeah, and a lot of demons. And, you could feel that this song was really strong as well. So what if, we think it's about love, but it's actually the reflection of all those demons that you have, of all your own, not even, or it can be a reference to Christianity as well. So it can have quite a few layers here. It can be a reference to some actual, demons, the devil themselves, and the bad things, and the worst, or our own demons and our own struggles. That's why that are happening in our consciousness. That's why there is no full sentences at times, but just half words. Like it's all kind of building up inside.
So I think I get what you mean now, and I understand it a little bit better. So would you say it is like an internal struggle, recognizing his own evilness and just trying to stay or say he's no more evil? Like, I recognize what's evil in me, I shout it out, and I just want to stay it's more like on emotional level. I feel that when he sings that, rather than on the contents of the words.
But then, if you think of it, that's what the content can be as well. It's almost as the internal dialogue, but actually facing your own fears and facing your own demons. That's why there's dim my eyes, then shine on forever, no price that could hold sway or justify my giving away. So it's like difficult stuff that he want to say, but also is not saying out loud clearly. That's why there are part sentences, almost like internal dialogue, which is a struggle and facing your own demons here.
So now, in the light of that, the loved one from the first part of the song, we thought it's a loved one or his mother or something like that. Maybe it's something else. Maybe it's some of his characteristics, internal characteristics he wants to preserve.
That's interesting one. That can be it. But it also can be a reference to love, because love is extremely strong feeling, right? Isn't it? So that's also something that can be linked to our demons, in all honesty. A lot of our struggles can be surrounded by love and can be because of love as well. So that's why it may start this way. It may be, I think, either way. It may be like you said, it may be, or it can be both. So it's so much, isn't there? And the problem is, although it's not maybe a problem, it's actually what's nice about this is that we don't know clearly, and we won't know for sure. So I guess also whatever your mood is, that's the way you will perceive the song on a certain day as well.
And maybe actually listening to that song will help you realize what is your thing you want to preserve. So he's
what do you mean?
So he's saying, so if I could, I'd wish it all away. If I thought tomorrow would take you away, you are peace of mind, my home, my center. I'm just trying to hold on one more day. So he definitely wants to preserve that thing, that peace of mind, his home, his center. Like, what is your peace of home? What is your center? What is one thing that you would like to preserve? Maybe he wants us to reflect on that part.
But you know what's also interesting? He later says, right after this part, dim my eyes if they could compromise our fulcrum. I'm not sure if I spell it out, if I say it correctly, but I never heard fulcrum before. So during the song, I quickly Googled it, and it means the point on which a lever rests or is supported and on which it pivots. So for me, it's almost as support, in other words. So dim my eyes if they should compromise our support. So that would make sense, actually, what you're saying, that previously he's kind of looking for this support. You're the peace of mind, my home, my center. He's looking to, and he's trying to find
something
the center.
That reminds you who you really are.
Throughout, and to find a way inside your mind, which is full of demons, if you want to kind of visualize it. That's how I'm visualizing it right now. And the fact that the song was much stronger and there was this changes within the song, I think it fits perfectly, and it also kind of represents this constant struggle that we have when we are trying to think of those difficult things, and especially when we are trying to resolve it or find some way out, some center. Oh, beautiful.
I agree. I couldn't agree more, really. It's like I said at the beginning, this song is like mini journey on itself.
Yeah.
It reminds me a little bit of Lateralus, as in Lateralus was like really like so many things happening. In here, it's the same. It's just on a different level. It's
It is hard to kind of pick and choose, isn't it? Or kind of put them on the ladder of greatness.
But
Because they are getting like
I really like
good.
the progress we made with thinking about the lyrics, because at the beginning, after listening to that song, I had no idea what to say even. Like for me, I just couldn't understand what he might mean. Now I feel much better about the contents, the lyrics.
That's what the analysis is, isn't it? So, and interpretation. That's how I was used to approaching the poems as well. Sometimes you're gonna read them and you like get nothing out of them, but when you're trying to analyze it and break it into smaller parts, there are some things that we can pick up on. So that's what I think happened here. But again, I wasn't sure either, and I'm still not quite sure. There's probably a bit more in it as well, so it will be quite interesting to review all the comments after the video.
Also, it would be interesting to know what was the fulcrum of Maynard's when he was singing that song, because I'm imagining you can sing a cover of this song with having a different your center, your thing you want to hold on in mind. And that might be totally different interpretation of the song because of different thing you value.
Yeah, and especially that, like I said, you don't have full sentences at times, and it tells a lot, but it also tells a lot of different things. It can tell a lot of different things. Although I don't think, I think it's quite personal to think what was his fulcrum. I think it's better to stick, to be honest, to each one of us. Our own fulcrums, if that makes sense.
Yeah,
so each person can listen to it, and then when you think of it, we all have our own struggles. Every human has.
Yeah, and that's I still think that what this song helps you to focus on. It helps you to think about those things, I guess.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. One last thing I wanted to add is that for me, this song isn't really that fast and strong, to be honest. That's I think you mentioned that at the beginning, but now I'm thinking. For me, it's hard to describe. So let me try. So for me, it is fast when you look at the short amounts of times. It's fast, but if you take the whole song into consideration, it's actually slow. I have no idea how to say that. It's like I have a great analogy. It's like a long journey throughout German Autobahn. So you're driving really fast, but the distances are quite long, and it takes you a lot of time to get from one point to the other. But at the same time, in the moment, you drive pretty fast. So that's the best analogy I can make, actually.
I love this comparison. There's no speed limit on the German...
on most of them, there's none.
Yeah, by the way, in case you don't know. But in all honesty, the song is not that long, if I'm correct. I think it was around 6 or 7 minutes, but I must agree.
7.5.
It was, yeah. I felt different than when I was listening to the Vicarious. I felt like, I was even hypnotized. I didn't know that the song is finishing when it was finishing. In here, I felt like it's enough and there's so much because of its structure that I just felt like this song as a whole.
Maybe that's why it should have been listened in one take. Vicarious leaves you hypnotized, and then you go straight to this, which is a bit faster and more
but then you feel, even though it was 7.5 minutes, this song alone, you just feel fulfilled.
Okay.
I don't think I had this before, because usually what happens, if you're watching us for some time now, you probably know and notice that I usually don't feel like I had enough. I want more. I want to listen and listen and listen. And I think it's actually the first time I felt like, oh, that's it. I feel fulfilled, that I had the whole experience of this song as a whole. That's really interesting.
It is.
Okay. I think I'm quite happy to finish for now.
Are you happy with the contents of this video then?
I hope so. I don't know. Let me know what you think, guys. I'm quite happy with the song and with the fact that we've listened to it.
Maybe it's, for me at least, it's something like great, sophisticated orchestra.
Maybe.
There's so many things, but they are really well thought, and they
thought, yes. Yeah. That's probably something you just feel like it is completed, like that, just the way it meant to be.
I think I exactly know what you mean.
It's just hard to describe. So as always, thank you so much for watching, and see you next week. We will listen to Wings for Marie. I'm
And
pretty sure-
10,000 days.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yes. So yeah, thank you for watching.
Thank you.
See you next week.